Ruckus. We talking that talk, just spitting them facts. We setting them traps and cracking them backs. We got all the news, we know all the stories. We start from the bottom, rise up to the glory. We say what your local reporters can't say. We break down the X's and O's on the play. It's AJ, King, Con, and Jose Ruckus. We call it right on the first take, and they love us. Yeah, we the best when it comes to sports debate. Find the podcast and let it play. If we get you in your feelings, that's okay. AJ and Jose send you on your way like, bruh, don't cause a ruckus. We just call it how we see it, big bro. And that we will always do.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to Don't Cause a Ruckus, your favorite debate show. You just don't know it yet. I am Jose Ruckus, aka the People's Analyst. Joining me, as always, is my good friend and arch rival, AJ Khah. What's up, AJ?
How you doing, man? Does it really count if we're friends that we're rivals?
Yeah, you can be rivals with your friends.
Okay, just checking.
I think the premise of the show completely falls apart if we're not rivals.
Yeah, true. We just like to debate. I mean, a lot of people like to debate and yell with their friends. I guess you're right. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, but I don't do it as much with, anybody else as I do it with you. So you have to be my arch rival.
Yeah, I guess that works. All right. I'm glad we clarified all that, got that out in the air.
We got a really good show for the people today, AJ. We're going to be talking about Thursday Night Football. We're going to be talking about the World Series. We're going to be talking a little wrestling, a little comic book movies. There's a whole lot of stuff to talk about today.
I'm excited. I think we should just start it up. Let's get into it.
All right. So I want to start this off coming off the Monday Night Football game where the Patriots, Bill Belichick, made a really interesting move. He sat Mac Jones down on the bench. After a couple weeks of Bailey Zappi going out and doing pretty good for the Patriots, they decided in the middle of this game after Mac Jones threw a questionable interception, sat him down, brought out Bailey Zappi. What do you think, AJ? Is this a good move to be making?
I mean, I think you go with a hot hand. Honestly, it's great that Mac Jones came back. Everybody was excited for him, but he didn't look as well-oiled. It's like, I feel like it's one of those things where you put in a cog that's just a centimeter too big for the machine. Yeah, it works, but there's still little kinks. It's kind of broken up. Zappi's taken over. He's been good. The team loves him. There's a lot of chemistry there. I think it's sad to say, but I think Belichick maybe messed up. I think it's one of those times where just go Zappi. Move on.
You think they should have started Zappi from the beginning? You don't even think they should have gone Mac Jones to start off?
No. I think Zappi has the hot hand. And it's great that Mac Jones is coming back. You put a lot of money into it and stuff, but let's be honest. I hate to say it. I don't like Bill Belichick. I don't like the Patriots. But Bill Belichick is great at making diamonds out of coal, finding, the diamond in the rough. He did it with Tom Brady, and I think Zappi's the new one for him. I think he needs to just sit down and be a stubborn old man and be like, I'm going to stick with the one guy we got. Mac Jones is great. He messed up. The team is feeling Zappi. I say stay Zappi. That's my opinion.
No, you cannot go. I love Bailey Zappi. Okay, I'm a big fan of Bailey Zappi. A lot of people don't know this. We actually scouted Bailey Zappi last year. Freddie Airmail sent me over Bailey Zappi's film to watch on my stream. We broke it down and we rated Bailey Zappi very high. We really liked Bailey Zappi, but they invested so much in Mac Jones that this is not the kind of guy. This is a first round pick. This is a very early round. This is a very early draft pick guy. This is what you invested your future in, to have Mac Jones be the guy and to bench him down and bring in Bailey Zappi over him, man. That's just, I know Mac Jones said that it doesn't hurt the confidence, that he doesn't feel like it's a slight at all, but how can it not really, deep down inside? That's going to dismantle Mac Jones a little bit.
I mean, okay, but look at it this way. When Zappi came in, he came in on fire. The man got the touchdowns that needed to, but he didn't have enough time to bring the team back into the game. And that's the issue. Is I get that you want to build for the future. You don't want to demoralize your starting quarterback. But at this point, it's more so, let's win with what we've got, especially for the Patriots. Like, they don't have a lot to build on, and a good quarterback, even if it's come out of nowhere, it sucks that you spend so much time building Mac Jones and doing all this. But at the end of the day, go with what's hot. You never know what you can find, man. Like, that's my
next
opinion.
week, next game, you're starting Bailey Zappi if you're Bill Belichick?
If I was Bill Belichick, I would. Also, I want to shout out Thomas Reed. Great player who was in the bubble this year. He got hurt. I'm hoping he comes back to the FCF next year. But thanks for coming in and watching, bro. Appreciate you, Thomas. But yes,
Man.
I would start Zappi 100%. Bring him back.
No, you got to go with Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the guy that you invested in. If Bailey Zappi really is the guy, we can figure that out down the line. We don't have to be worried about week 7. I mean, this team is not a playoff team. Like, you got to get your guys reps. Guys cannot progress if they're not getting reps. And Mac Jones is the guy you invested in. He's the guy who needs to be getting the reps.
I disagree. But I don't think we're going to agree on this one. I think we got to
I don't think
agree
so.
to disagree.
I don't. I put it in the chat. I want to know where you guys are thinking. If you're thinking, you think it's Zappi, you thinking Mac Jones. Well, who are you starting this week?
Yeah, we got to have somebody decide for us. We need an impartial judge, so to speak.
But while the chat figures out who they want, whether they want Zappi, whether they want Mac Jones, let's start previewing the Thursday night football game. Tomorrow, we got a nice little game between the Bucs and the Ravens. The Bucs are -1.5 point underdogs going into this. We talked all last week about how we didn't believe in this Buccaneers team. We think Tom Brady might be going out. Lamar Jackson, of course, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. AJ, did the Bucs even have a chance?
No. I'm here to say I haven't been a Tom Brady fan, nor am I a Tom Brady fan now. He hasn't been doing good this season. He's an old man that should have stayed retired and saved his marriage, is how I'm going to say it and how I will always say it. The man should have stayed retired. He's going up, in my opinion, against one of the best young quarterbacks in the league right now. Yeah, Lamar's had some like streakiness to his game. I get that. But these Ravens are, I don't know, like what the saying is. I guess like knees above head or toes above water, better than them. Whatever you want to say it. Me and my awful, sayings. But the man, he's not playing well. He doesn't have that confidence in him. He doesn't have Gronk to save him. He doesn't have his good buddy Gronk to come in and pat him on the butt and say, get in there. And I don't know. I just see the Ravens just destroying him. I'm going to say this right here and now. We need new, better teams on Monday night and Thursday night football.
I mean, look, they did as best as they could projecting these games out, which teams they thought they were going to be good, which teams they thought were going to be bad. They didn't exactly get that one right this year. We've had a lot of really bad primetime games. But I got to be honest with you. I kind of think that the Bucs have a chance here. I do not think that this is head and shoulders the Ravens above the Bucs. One thing is that when you actually watch Tom Brady's passing, his passing, it's not as good as it's been, but it's still decent enough. You got guys who are good enough, like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's back. Their passing game is actually, it hasn't come together yet. There's still some problems. There's not a lot of continuity on the offensive line. Tom Brady, even though they're actually getting a decent amount of time, he's panicking when guys are starting to come through just because it's not that the offensive line is that bad. He just doesn't trust them. The Ravens are not a good pass defense. They're really not. They've been below average as far as the NFL is concerned. If there's any matchup where the Bucs are going to be able to get their passing game right, it's this one. I think like -1.5 points, that's actually a pretty good line, I think. I'll take the underdog here. I think Thursday night football is weird, man. A lot of weird stuff happens on Thursday night football. The Bucs defense is pretty good, especially the pass rush. I think that they keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained. The Ravens don't have the best receivers in the world. If there's any matchup where the Bucs can come as the underdog and win, I think it's this one.
I mean, I disagree. Like, I would put 50,000. I don't have 50,000. I'll put up I have 35,000 fan points. Let me say, I'll put up 8,000 fan points that says the Ravens beat the Bucks. That's how much I'm going to say.
8,000 fan points? I think I have that much.
Channel fan points or whatever. We'll go channel fan points on Twitch. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, okay. Oh, then I definitely, I've got like 38 grand packed in that baby. Let's go.
Yeah, those are fun. We can throw those around. Let's do that. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. We don't have real fan points to throw around like that. I wish I could. But let's do that. All right, guys. FCF development team. This is an email from one dude who's doing a podcast with you guys. I need you to be able to trade fan points with just me and Jose, just us two. All right, let's get that going.
I think D said they're looking into it. They want to figure this out so we can bet on this show. But yeah, so I've got the Bucks, you've got the Ravens. We'll check in next week. We'll see who won this one. But let's move on to our next topic, okay? So we did the show last Wednesday. The next day,
literally
biggest trade since probably the Russell Wilson trade. Christian McCaffrey is now a 49er. He saw limited snaps on Sunday where the 49ers lost and the Carolina Panthers ended up winning their game. So the question is being asked right now. Are the 49ers the best offense in the league with the addition of Christian McCaffrey? What do you think?
If he's healthy, yes. 100% I think they are. Look at what they have as far as offense goes. To me, the glaring weakness on their offense is Jimmy Garoppolo. And let's be honest here, that's not a bad, glaring weakness. The man is capable. And with all the offensive weapons he has, if Christian McCaffrey is healthy, that gives them an out on a lot of plays when he's just trying to toss it up. CMC is one of the best running backs in the league when he's healthy. That's the key. Now, is he going to be healthy the whole season? I don't know. The man's hurt a lot. So to me, I think it shows just how these NF teams get boggled down with making their star players the point of their offense. Look at Carolina, exactly like you said. Now they got Chuba Howard in it and all those other running backs. It's more of the opponents don't know where to focus their attack on. It's more they can get away with who's going to be running because they don't expect where it's coming from. And I love that about what Carolina is doing now. That's kind of what the Falcons did at the beginning of the season. They had such a wide range of running backs that the opposing defense had no idea where it's going, whose hands it's going to be in, if it's going to be a play action, if it's going to be a run. So that's kind of what I love about it. But that's not to say the 49ers aren't going to be one of the teams to beat. And I think they really are. I think, especially with CMC, if he's healthy, I see them going to the Super Bowl personally.
No, absolutely not. This was such a bad trade for the 49ers. I can't believe this is them hitting the panic button. They are so afraid of what's going on in the NFC. They're so afraid about their losing to the Broncos that they're pulling the ripcord here to go out and get a guy that they absolutely don't need. The best thing about Kyle Shanahan, and I think Kyle Shanahan is one of the most overrated coaches in the NFL. The thing that he has been good about his entire time in San Francisco is he finds the diamonds in the rough when it comes to the running back position. He will take Raheem Mostert and turn him into one of the top 10 running backs in the league. He'll take Jeff Wilson, turn him into one of the top 10 running backs in the league. He'll take Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell is just all of a sudden one of the 5 best running backs in the league. And it's because of the scheme. Christian McCaffrey is, yes, arguably the best running back in the league. But how much production can you actually get out of a single running back? What is he going to do for their offense that Jeff Wilson and Deebo Samuel were not already doing? They spent so much in draft capital. They have basically no draft picks going for the future. They picked up an injury-prone running back to join what has been, through Kyle Shanahan's tenure, the most injured team in the NFL. This is such a bad trade for them. And I see this, the sand is going to dissolve in their hands with this. This is such a bad trade.
See, I can't argue with that point because you're right. I said the entire time, if he's healthy, that's like a big if. So, all right, I concede. I see your point, but I still think it's a great trade. As much as you say the draft capital is lost, the only thing that they really lost is an opportunity to get a better running back. And let's be real, Trey Lance hasn't really gotten an opportunity to do his best.
Here's the thing. Right now, the rumor mill is spreading. You can pick up Kareem Hunt from the Browns for a 4th round draft pick. A 4th round. Is the production you're going to get out of Christian McCaffrey that much different than what you're going to get out of Kareem Hunt? That many draft picks. Is the size of that draft capital not massively bigger than the size of production between Kareem Hunt and CMC? This is not the 1990s. A running back is not going to massively change your game and win you a Super Bowl. When was the last time that we saw a running back-led team win a Super Bowl? The teams that are running back-led in the playoffs, they've fallen off in the middle of the playoffs. Derrick Henry doesn't get there.
You're right, but look at the way the NFL is built this season. If they're thinking this season, the pass has not been going well. Quarterbacks are struggling this season. So maybe this is the time to go headfirst in and win a Super Bowl on the backs of Christian McCaffrey's running. Maybe this is the year to change it all up because you can't rely on quarterbacks anymore.
I mean, you look at the teams that are winning right now. It's Josh Allen. It's Jalen Hurts. It's the guys at the top, man.
But maybe 4 teams that are like really head and shoulders above everyone else. Thanks for telling me. I just never thought it was Head and Shoulders. I always was like, that's just a shampoo company. But let's be real. Besides those like top 4 teams, no one else has a quarterback that's worth their weight in salt this year. Everyone else is struggling. Like, be honest. Can you name besides Mahomes, Buffalo?
I can name one quarterback who has stood out and is carrying his team to wins right now. It's Geno Smith.
Yeah, and I knew it. I knew that was coming. I walked right into that one. Okay. Anyway, let's move on because I'm tired of this.
All right, that's gonna wrap up the NFL topics for the week. We'll be back to check on the Thursday night. We'll have a whole new set of NFL topics next week, but we got to stop by just for a little bit. We got a couple baseball topics. I know baseball. Who cares about baseball? I do. That's who. The World Series is about to start. It's not the matchup we thought it was going to be. I definitely had the Astros making it to a World Series. I did not have the Phillies making it this far, man.
No.
What do you think? Who's got the advantage here? Who do you think is going to take this thing?
So to me, it's one of those classic underdog stories where like, I think the Phillies have the momentum. Do I want them to win? No, I am not a Phillies fan. I want them to lose. Do I think they're going to win? Probably. I think Houston has a lot to go. They have a good bullpen, but to me, I think, like I said, Phillies has the momentum. Like Bryce Harper just is kind of nuts this offseason. And like, he's got a beautiful beard, man. Like, let's get that playoff beard going. I hate the Phillies, but Bryce Harper fucking deserves it, man.
Bryce Harper is making really big hits when it counts. He's had multiple walk-offs this postseason. They've gotten a lot of big outs when they've needed them. That being said, I mean, the Phillies, really, they are getting hot. They got hot exactly the right time. They came in, pretty much ran the table at the end of the season, getting a lot of big wins in the postseason. But Houston is a buzzsaw right now. Houston has not lost a game in the postseason. They've swept. They swept the Mariners. Then they swept the Yankees. I'm not going to be surprised if they sweep the Phillies. This is a team
I'd be
that's
happy.
got excellent pitching. They've got guys who get hits. The first game against the Yankees, they struck out twice. They only struck out twice. These guys are getting hits. They're playing extremely good baseball. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to say Houston in 5, but don't be surprised if Houston wins the World Series without losing a postseason game.
I mean, I'll be happy with it, but I think you're wrong. I think the Phillies, I think it's at least going to go, I want to say, I think it's going to go full 7, full series. Why? Just because.
Oh.
Honestly, I think as much as Houston's going, and bust on. I'm going to say full series with Houston winning it. I agree with you. They're going to win it, but I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I love it. I'm going to be real. I don't like the Phillies, but I feel like they have that postseason, like that magic, that Cinderella magic that we always need in the postseason. And they're the ones that have it. So I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a good, hard fought series, but I agree with you. I think Houston's going to win it. I just think it's going to be more than, Houston 5.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams really did get hot. They're really, really hot right now. It's going to be hard to keep the Phillies from having these big time hits.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to do it, I think it's going to be Houston, though. So, yeah, those are our picks for the World Series. We'll check up on this after the first couple games. Let you know if Houston does actually sweep the Phillies, which would be insane.
It'd be great.
It really would. I mean, I don't hate the Phillies. I got to be honest with you. I kind of like the Astros. Like, I kind of don't care that they cheated. I kind of respect the hustle.
Okay, so that's like the most villainous thing I've ever heard on the FCF thing. It's like, I enjoyed the cheating. And it's just, what?
Come on. Okay. One, every team stealing signs. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the Dodgers and all these teams who are talking about how, Houston cheated. So, they're banging trash cans. They stole a World Series. They're all trying to do it. They're all cutting corners. They're all trying to find ways to win. That's a little bit shady. Okay, they're all doing it. Houston just found the best way to do it, man. You didn't hear them banging the trash cans. That's your fault, man. You should have been asking questions while you were playing the series. Like, I respect the hustle. That's exactly what it is.
I feel like they shouldn't need to ask questions during the series. I think they should focus on, playing the game.
Man, if you can get away with it, man. That's my philosophy.
All right, now I know who I need to pay attention to during Uno and Monopoly. All right. All right. I see.
All right. We got one more baseball topic to get into, man. And it's one that really, really excites me, okay?
I know
because Aaron Judge is going to be a free agent in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
His contract with the Yankees is up. They sort of lowballed him in the offseason. He bet on himself, had one of the best hitting seasons we've seen since, 2001, 2003. He's got his pick of where he gets to go. Yeah, we're getting the betting odds for where people think he's going to go right now. The San Francisco Giants, my favorite team, is currently in the lead. The Mets, the Dodgers, Astros, they're all involved. AJ, where do you think Aaron Judge is going to end up next year?
All right, loaded question. I know it's loaded because you're so excited he's going to possibly go to the Giants. I know you're just waiting to dance and celebrate because they got the highest. And honestly, I say get paid. He's probably going to end up a Giant, and I'm happy for you. But where I would like to see him go, the Red Sox. Because imagine.
Oh, my God.
Imagine how upset people would be if he went from being a Yankee to being a Red Sox. That is the ultimate story. It would be perfect because the Sox haven't been good in years. Let's be honest here. They've kind of been mediocre, bottom of the barrel for the last few seasons. And it'd be great to see that rivalry come back between New York and Boston. But having said that, he's going to go where the money goes, man. And if he doesn't, I'd be shocked. If he goes to Boston, it'd be like a real hey.
That would be insane. That would, oh my God. The city of New York would burn down. It would be incredible. The reports are right now, the Giants are saying that they will not be outbid. They will match any offer. They will give more money than any team. If he does not become a Giant, it will not be because of money. But as much as I want it to happen, I don't think he's going to end up being a Giant next year. I think he re-signs with the Yankees. I think the Yankees give him a really big offer. I think he stays in pinstripes. I think he takes the offer. Now he's a Northern California guy. Okay. He went to school here. He grew up here. He's been a Giants fan since he was a kid. If is that enough to sway him out of New York? Now I will say this. In that last series, the Yankee fans were booing Aaron Judge because he wasn't hitting home runs in the playoffs anymore. Could be his last game as a Yankee was not sold out in the playoffs. Tickets were going for $15 for Yankees Stadium because those fans are terrible. Yankees fans are so bad. The second that they're just not performing to the max, they just give up on the team. It's disgusting. I hate them. Aaron, come home, man. Come home. Make the team great again.
Tell them how you really feel. Tell the folks how you really feel. No,
I can't stand Yankees fans.
I genuinely think that there's enough reason for him to come home that even if the Yankees, try and give him a bag and, convince him to stay, I think for all the reasons you said, if I were in his position and the Braves were one of the teams that like I grew up with, even if the Yankees were like, if the Braves matched anything the Yankees did, and I'd been a Yankee my entire career, boy, howdy, would I drop those pinstripes and pick up a red and blue Atlanta hat. So if he grew up in Northern California, he went to college out there, his family's out there, there's no reason not to. Because let's be honest, I don't like New York. My sister lives in New York. Every time I visit her, I tell her this city sucks. It's too crowded, too many people. People are assholes. And you're right. The fans are the most fair weather fans ever. If they're not doing well, you're not getting any fans there. So I genuinely, I know you think he's going to be Yankee, but I guess I'm going to be rooting for your Giants in this situation. But I'm really going to be rooting for the Red Sox just to get that.
It would be so funny. But you know what actually be an even bigger move than him going to the Red Sox? If he goes to the Mets, stays in the same market. The Mets are the Mets have the money. They're willing to spend as much as it took. They spent more money in last offseason than any other team. If he goes to the Mets, it will be way worse than him going to the Red Sox because he's just going across town. He doesn't even have to find a new place to live.
Fudge that. I hate the Mets. I'm saying fudge to all of that. Fudge to the Judge going to the Mets, all right? That's what I'm saying because the Mets don't deserve him. Let's be real. And that would it doesn't matter. There's just a change of venue for them. And people like the Mets venue in New York from what I've heard. Like, it's pretty nice. So I would rather him go anywhere else outside of New York.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our MLB talk. Let's get into a little NBA talk. I've got a question for you, okay?
All right, let's hear it.
We've gone through the first week or so of the NBA season. There's this big prospect waiting at the end of the season for everybody. Victor Wembanyama. Teams are already beginning to tank for him. There are teams right now that there's going to be a lot of buyers and sellers throughout this season before we get to the end of the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
What's one player that you think is going to get moved this year? Who do you think are going to be? What teams that are end up tanking, are they going to send their players off? Which teams are going to be buying at the last minute to try to make playoffs? Or do you see any big transactions happening before the end of the year?
I'm going to say this. I have 3 in mind off the top of my head. The first one I'm going to go off of, I don't think is going to happen in reality. And that's Dame Lillard leaving Portland. I think he'd be great to land in Denver. I think that would be a smart move on Portland's part because they've kind of been mediocre for the last few seasons again. And Dame has been one of those professional consummate players that he doesn't want to leave Portland until the decision is made for him. He's drafted there. He wants to stay there. So do I think that's going to happen? No. I think it'd be great if he landed in Denver. I think that would make everybody happy. What I actually think may happen, Utah giving up Rudy Gobert. They already got rid of Donovan Mitchell. Rudy Gobert is a center in the middle of nowhere. He has nobody to pass to. There's no offense over there. It'd be great for them to pair up with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn. That would be an amazing trade for them. They get trade prospects as much as possible from the Nets, but the Nets don't really have that much to offer. That'd be cool to see.
Not really, no.
Yeah, but the one that I really think is going to happen, and it makes the most sense out of all of them, Bradley Beal to the Heat. Bradley Beal needs to leave Washington. Washington needs to start over altogether. It's a win-win for both sides. You know, they could possibly get like Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, and like first round picks, maybe like the 27th overall from the Heat. They could even maybe convince them to get like Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent, some like off pieces. But that's a whole young core that they can build around. That's not bad. Tyler Hero is great. Duncan Robinson can literally shoot the ball better than most people from 3-point. And then the Heat get a new core team of Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal, and Bam Adebayo with Kyle Lowry as their point guard. Now that's a playoff contender team. You can grab other assets from other teams, and that'll allow not only the Wizards to have a good core base for when Wembanyama comes off, for them.
Yeah.
But it also helps the Heat. So it's one of those things that I think would be great, but I don't think anybody should do it. I think tanking the way that the draft is built is a terrible idea. The amount of not only randomness there is in the lottery, because the like chances of you getting first pick are not really that great, even if you're the last. It's kind of random, really. They definitely did a good job of changing it up. But look at what happened with Zion Williamson. He was like touted to be the next LeBron James. And for the first 3 seasons, he's kind of been a non-factor. Great player, don't get me wrong.
Hurt a lot.
Hurt. He's hated his organization. There's a lot of things going on, and you don't know if you can get that with any player. So to me, I say build, but that's the best buy-sell situation I got. What about you, Jose? I want to know your thoughts.
I like the Bradley Beal pick. There's been rumblings of Bradley Beal getting out of Washington for a really long time. A lot of people thought he was going to go to the Heat last season. They ended up re-signing him, getting a contract extension. So I could see that. I could see Bradley Beal finally leaving that team and going to a team that can win, because he's really good. The obvious one a lot of people are talking about, we got in the graphic here, Russell Westbrook is eventually going to get traded to a team that is tanking, right? They're going to trade for whatever like decent players that team has, get some cap space moved around and stuff. The obvious pick is that eventually Russell Westbrook is going to go to the Pacers for Buddy Hield, and probably a couple other guys as well. Buddy Hield's extremely good 3-point shooter. That's the thing the Lakers need more than anything else right now is shooters. They need guys who can space the floor for AD. They need guys who can space the floor for LeBron. And Buddy Hield is a great choice to do that. Russell Westbrook's shooting 8% from 3 right now, not helping the team at all. So that's sort of the obvious one. The one that I think is a dark horse pick, might not happen, but just be on the lookout. Keep your eyes open. Joel Embiid is not going to be a 76er for very long.
Okay. I don't agree with that, but why do you think so?
That team right now is terrible for so many reasons. Doc Rivers is a horrible coach. He's not coaching that team well. He's not getting them into position to win right now. James Harden is maxing out his usage rate. He's creating Harden's getting his points. He's getting his assists. He's getting all that stuff. But he's not, just like in the Rockets, he's not doing it in a way that's going to win you a championship. It's not good team basketball, what James Harden does. There's so much stuff missing from that team. That team is not, they're starting off, have they even won a game yet? Like they're 0-4 right now, right? 0-3?
Let me check that. I don't, is that right?
I think so. They're a bad basketball team right now. They're losing to teams that they absolutely should not lose to. He looks unhappy when you watch him play. They're doing really bad. I think he's going to force his way out. When he forces his way out, I think he's going to end up on the Miami Heat. We talk about those same pieces you talk about, but instead, Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is a really good defensive player, but he's lacked a killer instinct that you see from guys like Joel Embiid.
They're 1-3.
They did win a game. They won a game, yes.
They won a game.
I could see Bam Adebayo, maybe Tyler Hero as well, maybe Duncan Robinson for Joel Embiid, and then the Heat go and compete for a championship. I think that's even a better position to get than Bradley Beal. Joel Embiid's been an MVP contender for a while. He brings the kind of things that the Miami Heat are really lacking in. He's a defensive upgrade over Bam, who is already a good defensive player, but he's a true center in the way that team does not have a true center. Bam's more of a power forward than anything else. Pat Riley is an insane person who loves to land himself a big whale. This is the biggest whale in the league right now. They went after KD. They weren't able to get KD, but they can get Joel because Joel's going to be upset pretty soon.
You're not wrong. I can see that happening, honestly. I genuinely don't think Joel's going anywhere. I think maybe Harden. I feel like the Philly organization is too set on Joel. They just want to constantly build around him. So they're going to constantly try to make him feel good. I feel like this is one of those situations where if the Heat are going to do it, they got to offer something ridiculous. And, honestly, I'd love to see it. I think it'd be great. I think this is this is kind of the changing of the guard season. I think we're going to see more out of the younger players, more like, I think my favorite thing this past week was Ja Morant baiting Ben Simmons into his fouling out, like his sixth foul or whatever, and fouling out of the game. And that was honestly one of the best moments for me because it just shows the change in the guard. It's like the younger guys are taking over of the old guys. Like LeBron is no longer the best player in the league. Kevin Durant may not be the best player in the league anymore. You got to look. Giannis is definitely up there. But you got to start making the argument is Ja Morant one, is Trae Young one, everyone's going to say Luka Doncic, but I don't think the Mavs are doing that great so far. And the Hawks officially are in the number 2 spot in the Eastern Conference with their win just now. Let's go 4-1, baby.
Take your victory lap at 5 games in. That's smart.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
All right. Well, yeah, that'll wrap up our NBA. There's going to be more interesting NBA conversations to be had as the season unfolds. A lot of speculation right now. We don't know what's going on in the NBA right now. There's so much crazy stuff going on. Teams are moving around, all kinds of things. AJ, I want you to introduce our next topic here because you know way more about this subject than I do. Explain it to the people.
Okay. So we have the issue that is CM Punk. Now, for the people that don't know, CM Punk is a very, very, very famous wrestler that just joined AEW. And it's amazing because he changed from WWE. He was retired for a long time and came out of retirement to join AEW. It was great. Everybody loved it. All the fans were enamored with it. Now, after only a year, there has been so much locker room turmoil caused by him amongst the other wrestlers and the EVPs that Tony Khan is forced to buy out his contract. Now, his contract was for 5 years, so there's 4 years right there. And not only that, the contract has a stipulation that says he cannot go anywhere after this. Yep. There's a no compete clause in it. So the big issue is this was supposed to be one of the biggest comebacks ever. And is it worth it? Is it worth it to spend millions of dollars to kick this man out? Now, I think CM Punk is done. I think his career is over. He literally punched and bit 2 of the EVPs of AEW in a backstage brawl after winning the title heavyweight championship. And literally at one of the post-conference meetings just made fun of everybody. I think his time in wrestling is completely done. I think he put his own foot in his mouth, and it made the entire wrestling community look bad. There's clearly was issues when he was in the locker room at WWE, and it was great as a fan to see him come back. Everybody loved CM Punk. He was a great player, great wrestler. But this backstage argument, brawling, fighting is not okay. There needs to be a level of respect amongst every wrestler. Wrestling is one of the few sports entertainment genres that you have to trust your partner. Even if you don't like them, your life is in their hands. So I think he's out of here. I wouldn't trust him if I was anyone else in there. I think his time is done. It's unfortunate. It's a big loss of money, but it is what it is.
You say his time is done now. I think his time's been done for like 10 years. Bringing this back, obviously, they popped a huge rating with it. They got a bunch of excitement. But putting the belt on this guy was such a stupid idea. I'll tell you what. I can't stand Phil, okay? I'm not going to call him by his stupid name. His name's Phil, okay? And I don't like Phil. Phil's annoying. Phil complains all the time. Phil thinks everything needs to be done his way. You know who Phil reminds me of? He reminds me of late 90s Hulk Hogan. That's who he reminds me of. He's a guy, he's so committed to the backwards, old school, carny wrestling, where Phil feels like if he's not getting one over on you, you're getting one over on him. And he can't have that. He's the guy who, he doesn't want to work. He just wants to make the money. That's all he cares about. He talked about it all the time in WWE. He's talked about how he used to pray that he would get hurt so that he could just go home and sit around and eat. I think what he would say he wanted to eat a beef sandwich. He wants to watch his stupid hockey. The guy is so annoying. There's an old Vince McMahon quote, which like say what you will about Vince or whatever, but it tells so much about Phil's character, where he said that CM Punk was harder to work with than Shawn Michaels was when he was on drugs.
That's rough. Hey man, you're not spitting any like wrongs. All right, I'm 100% behind you on this. I think his locker room etiquette is one that is to be desired. You know, like we don't want that around here. It leaves a lot to be desired, is what I'm trying to say. And like the difference between him and like somebody that came back, Sting, being a consummate professional, the two are completely different. You've never heard anything negative about Sting. You've heard so many people complain about CM Punk. And the reason why he has a career is because the fans love him. He gets energy out of them, and it's great.
The reason he has a career is because he cut a promo once.
Okay, he's good at cutting promos, but I'm going to say this. His time is done. I agree with you there. He should have spent more time bringing up the young talent, built-in talent that AEW had, like he said he was going to do. If they just kept doing that, instead of giving him the belt, like seeing him, Sting, battle alongside Darby Allin is one of the best things I've seen in a long time in wrestling. And that's what they should have kept him doing. Him and Christian Cage need to keep just helping the younger generation out, and that's what they need to focus on. That's what AEW is good for, and that's why everybody loves them, is because they're not WWE. They're not keeping the same 5 guys in the front, or in WWE's case, Roman Reigns up there for months on end. They need to develop their young talent. That's what everybody loves. And the fact that they bring in all these independent wrestlers to show off in a big setting. Keep doing what you're good at, AEW. Don't try to compete with WWE. Nobody wants another WWE. That's all. That's what I have to say. Tony, get better. Let's be real. Get better at doing what you need to do. Because I don't think Triple H is going to change WWE that much. So
be better. That's going to wrap it up for the wrestling talk. I'm done with CM Punk. We got 2 comic book movie stories I want to get to. The AntMan 3 Quantumania trailer dropped. I'm not big on the Marvel universe. I'm going to be honest. I'm a bit burnt out on it right now, but I'm a big Jonathan Majors fan. I'm more excited for the next Creed movie that he's in than I am for this. It's a neat trailer though. A lot of people standing in front of green screens. So, you know, that's not my favorite. AJ, what'd you think about the Ant-Man trailer?
I'm not excited. It's really hard for me to say. I'm a huge comic book nerd. I love Paul Rudd, great actor, but everything that like they showed in this Ant-Man trailer just seemed not Ant-Man. It genuinely feels like Marvel had everything planned up, so Endgame, and then afterwards it's just let's catch up. We got to keep doling out these money makers, and it becomes very apparent, especially with the FX department constantly complaining that they don't have enough time, they're overworked, they're not getting paid enough, to terrible endings like She-Hulk, where they actually make fun of that. Like they said, oh, we have to have you transform off scene because it's cheaper for the video FX team, and they've moved on to another project. And then you hear Wakandan music in the background. Like, they're phoning it in. So am I excited about this? No, not at all. I'm more excited about everything that's happening in the next topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, I haven't
I
watched
wanna
a Marvel
know.
project since Falcon and Winter Soldier, maybe. I don't know. I'm totally checked
was
out
good.
on these. I'm probably not going to watch this Ant-Man movie until like much later. Maybe I'm more like Black Panther will probably be the next thing that actually gets me out for a Marvel property. I'm not pumped for this. But you say you're really excited for the next thing. You went and watched Black Adam for some reason this weekend. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Good.
I don't believe you.
It was good. Okay. Okay. In my opinion, and maybe it's just because like it's one of the first times that I've seen a superhero from like quote unquote the Middle East. He's from Kondak, which is like another, fictional country in the DCEU, but it's supposed to represent like a Middle Eastern country. So I thought it was great. Yes, it was The Rock being The Rock for Rock's sake in multiple ways with a lot of gory action, slow-mo, 300 type scenes. But you kind of got to love it. Like when you walk in, you kind of got to expect that going. And if you walk in expecting that, it surprises you. It was a very straight-laced movie, but there was humor somehow involved with it that made it great. Like they didn't take themselves stupid seriously. But it's The Rock. He's kind of got to take himself seriously. Not only that, it was good to see like it's something that's going on in the Middle East right now. There's an entire revolution going on in Iran, and for me, I think this is great because it kind of talks about that in a way that allows people to recognize and sympathize with the people of Iran and these countries that are, dealing with handling a dictator, trying to overthrow a government. It kind of shows them like sometimes you have to change the way you look at things and view. Sometimes violence is an answer. Yeah, it's not the best story to tell people or like, but the way they showed it made you sympathize with the people. And I think especially for what's going on in the world right now, it's pretty great. It's a good storyline. Like, if you're expecting an action movie, this is perfect for it. But not only that, it brought back Superman. It brought back Henry Cavill as Superman. The Rock did something that a lot of people couldn't do, and that was get rid of Walter Hamada. And instead, now we have James Gunn.
Yeah, we got the guy who he directed the only really DC things I really liked in a long time. He did The Suicide Squad, and then he did the Peacemaker TV show. James Gunn is very hit or miss for me. I don't love everything or even most of the thing that he does. Parts of Suicide Squad I didn't like. Parts of Peacemaker I didn't like. I think most of his movies I kind of don't like. But he's interesting at least. He's got a thing that works for most people. So I'm not like the Batman. I like the Batman. Do more stuff like the Batman. Just give your movies to people who have cool ideas and I don't need the whole universe thing, man. I don't need all these crossover characters. I don't need Henry Cavill back as Superman. I don't care. Just make a good Superman movie. I don't care if it's the guy that was in the movie beforehand. Just make a good one. So, I mean, I'm way more interested in the Matt Reeves stuff than this James Gunn stuff.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. The Matt Reeves stuff is very compelling in the way he like shot the Batman, especially from like a videographer standpoint. It was visually appealing as well as interesting and a good story. But I love action movies too. I thought it was great. And to me, the fact that they're changing, who's leading the DCEU with James Gunn, I think is good. I think it needs a new breath of fresh air. I think it also allows for what you want, like these one-offs which is like what comic books are kind of known for. There's so many different, dimensions that you can go into, different multiverses and all that we can have. Anybody go and, experiment in those worlds, if you will. But I think having James Gunn lead them and be the co-president and co-creative director, or whatever he is now, I think it's good because he's going to allow the creativity to flow more so than the former heads were. He seems like a genuine creative guy. He looks like he is come on, the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff is kind of off the wall there and great in a great way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. I feel like we're not going to see as many cookie cutter box cutting DC movies that are just like, oh, we're dark and action filled and 300 slow-mo sequences. It's going to be different. It's going to be goofy. We're going to see more, Peacemaker, more the Suicide Squad type things. And I'm here for it. Like, the more comic book movies that are like not money grabs, I'm here for.
I agree. I want to see some interesting stuff. And I do think James Gunn is the kind of guy who will let people do what they want to do. Give us some cool stuff. So this is more exciting to me. Black Adam, probably I'm going to wait for streaming. I don't got to make it to the theater for this one. But
I can't convince anybody to go see it. It's genuinely worth it. I really feel like if there's a Tuesday matinee and cheap $5 Tuesday movie night at your night, it's worth it, guys. Especially if you just want to see an action movie.
All right. Well, we got one more topic to do. This is a really fun one. I'm really excited to talk about this one. I saw a viral tweet go around earlier this week, and I was like, we got to talk about this on the show. Because it's asking the question, what is the best fictional cheeseburger that you could get? Can we bring up this tweet? So the four options that we got here: the Krusty Krab, which of course has the Krabby Patty, Krusty Burger, Bob's Burgers with all of his boutique specialty burgers, and the Good Burger from Good Burger. Okay. AJ, do you have opinions on what the best fictional cheeseburger would be?
Okay, I'm gonna break it down how I see it works. All right, Krusty Burger is just McDonald's. It's like a low-budget McDonald's. You can get hurt there. I'm okay on that. Good Burger, I feel like, is like Wendy's. It's been around for a while. They have a lot of old, stores. Looks like it's from the 90s, maybe late 80s, but it's still good. So I'm going to go like Wendy's level. Now, Krusty Krab, I feel like, is the in and out of these fictional things. Everybody loves it. It's great. Everybody raves about it when they eat it once, but I'm not a big fish guy. And I feel like because it's underwater, it's going to have like tartar sauce or something on it that I'm not going to enjoy. And Bob's Burgers is like that mom and pop store. They change up the specialty every week. You don't know what you're going to get. The greasiness, the butter and bun is made with love because it's the owner who's running it. Everywhere else, the owner's not running it. Mr. Krabs isn't behind the grill flipping things. True. It's just Bob's and his burgers. I'm gonna go with Bob's Burgers.
You're going with Bob Burger. You want the specialty, you want the boutique, you want the fancy, whatever kind of weird he's putting, I don't know, mac and cheese on his burgers or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
No, not for me. What I like about a cheeseburger is I like a classic cheeseburger. I want a simple cheeseburger. I want the ideal cheeseburger of what you think of in your mind. And that is what you get with the Krabby Patty. The Krabby Patty looks like the perfect cheeseburger. It looks like when you look in the dictionary and you go find cheeseburger, that's the picture that's right next to it. You compared it to In-N-Out. I'm a huge In-N-Out stan. If you go to my Twitter, I'm talking about the In-N-Out. I'm getting in the debates with people online. If you call In-N-Out mid, you and I are going to have words because that's crap. In-N-Out's excellent. I eat there like once a week. I'm from California, okay? It's what we do out here. It's the West Coast staple. It's when I look at the Krabby Patty, man, that's what it looks like to me. And the Good Burger, I was never a big Good Burger fan. I didn't like the Good Burger movie, so I'm not going there. Like you said, Krabby, you see the Krusty Burger, man. It looks like the most broke fast food, Burger King garbage. Not into that at all. I don't need a fancy cheeseburger, man. I don't need truffle on my burger. I don't need mac and cheese on my burger. Give me the Krabby Patty, man. That's exactly what I want.
But what if, all right, now, what if it's like, it's fish? They don't have cows down there. So like the patty's got to be something that's not like a burger though. So it's the Krabby Patty. So isn't it a crab patty that they're using?
I don't think so. Mr. Krabs is a crab. They're not killing other crabs to make the burger.
I don't know. Have you seen any other crabs ever besides the lobster, Barry the lobster? Because that's a lobster. That's not crab. Have you ever seen another crab in SpongeBob?
Okay, so I did just look this up. The creator of SpongeBob has stated that the patty does not contain any meat. It is okay. This is an impossible burger. Patty.
Okay, it's an impossible burger. Does that change your thoughts now?
I mean, people say it tastes good. Like people have the experience of eating a cheeseburger when they eat it, so it must be good.
People that haven't eaten cheeseburgers though that say that.
I mean,
I'm changing your mind here now, aren't I?
Didn't like King Triton or whoever, like he ate the Krabby Patty and then he threw it up so that he could eat it again?
Yeah,
but like that's got to be a good cheeseburger.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, that it changes things a little bit, but I think I'm gonna stay with my pick here, just because it looks perfect.
All right, that's fair. I'll take it. I'll allow it. You're more of a visual guy, and I'm more of like I want the taste. Okay.
Okay, there we go. That's going to wrap it up for Don't Cause a Ruckus this week. This was a great show. I really enjoyed doing this one. We got some fun topics here.
No, I enjoyed it too. Definitely.
Make sure you guys, subscribe to the Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube, wherever you're watching this at. Be back next week, 6 p.m. West Coast time on the Fan Control channel to see us. Let us know what you guys want us to debate next week. If you have any topic ideas, more wrestling topics, more movie topics, more weird topics like what fictional cheeseburger would you eat? Let us know what you want to hear us talk about.
We're here for it. And for myself, I'm AJ Khah. Thank you guys for coming, showing up. Make sure you guys watch the fan-controlled show, Hot Dog Water, tomorrow. And that's it for me, guys. Same fan time. Same fan plays. Jose, take us out, man.
All right. That's the best we're gonna do, I guess. I think we're still sticking with same fan time, same fan channel. We'll see you next week, guys.
We talking that talk, it's spitting them facts. We setting them traps and cracking them bags. We got all the news, we know all the stories. We start from the bottom, rise up to the glory. We say what your local reporters can't say. We break down the X's and O's on the play. It's AJ, King, Con, and Jose Ruckus. We call it right on the first take, and they love us. Yeah, we the best when it comes to sports debate. Find the podcast and let it play. If we get you in your feelings, that's okay. AJ and Jose send you on your way like, bruh, don't cause a ruckus.